This is your daily horoscope for Wednesday, March 18th, 2026. All times are Pacific Standard Time. This is a very busy day, and the action starts out around 9 a.m. when Venus in Aries forms a square with Jupiter in Cancer. Now, this is taking place at 15 degrees. So, if you have any planets or placements around 15 degrees of the cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, you're the main characters. Now, it's also important to note that this is a meeting of the two benefics in astrology. So, Venus and Jupiter are the two luckiest planets in the sky. And when they form any type of aspect, it can bring hope or progress or support our way in some form, depending on our unique birth charts, depending on the houses that these interactions and planets are moving through. It will really depend, right? So you'll want to listen to your daily horoscope for more detail on this, but this is a favorable connection. However, they're meeting in a square. And a square in astrology is a little bit more of a tense aspect. So this can create too much of a good thing. So sometimes there's indulgence. I define this as the classic hangover aspect. When I used to drink, not that I was a big boozer, but well, in my early 20s, I was. But I would always get a hangover when these two planets formed a square with one another. It is the classic, or eating too much ice cream until you get a stomach ache, right? Like I have a Virgo moon, so that's just a very literal interpretation, something that happens to me every time. So just within moderation, within reason today, like this energy is great for enjoying yourself, for sinking into the pockets of joy and pleasures of life, but also within a little bit of moderation and making sure that you don't bite off more than you can chew or just overdo it and exhaust yourself or deplete yourself in the process. But in general, this is very much a welcomed connection. It is great for making progress on your goals, for building community, for gaining attention for important causes, charitable work, for getting involved, right? So this is a welcome aspect to see in the sky. Now, later on, around 1:30 p.m., we have the sun in Pisces forming a sextile with Uranus and Taurus. And this is delicious for a couple reasons. Spoiler alert, we have a new moon in Pisces today. But with the sun meeting with Uranus, that very supportive connection is baked into the new moon signature. So the sun represents our ego, our identity, our vitality, and Uranus is this planet of innovation, authenticity, liberation, and sudden developments. But the sun and Uranus are meeting in a gentle connection. So this actually helps us accept and move towards risks and change in a sustainable way. So we're not making a decision to move across the world today, but maybe we're ready to show up a little bit more authentically and show some of our friends and family things that we're excited about or parts of ourselves that we've been hiding or keeping to ourselves. This energy is wonderful for making progress, coming up with solutions, for gaining attention and recognition for your quirks and for your unique identity and sense of self. So, this is really a day to take a risk, try something new, and to put yourself out there. Now, later on around 6 p.m., we have the moon in Pisces forming a sextile with Uranus and Taurus. And this is just activating that planetary connection from earlier. So, this is a wonderful time again to say yes. If you get a last minute invitation to try something new, to change your routine, to send the flirty text, to show the world a new side of yourself, or try out a new hobby, or mingle with someone new, or, go on a different route for your evening walk. Like when you try something new, when you take a risk, there is more blessings that can find you. And this also opens you up to new ideas and opportunities as well. Now, the main event takes place at 6:23 p.m. We have a new moon in Pisces. This new moon is taking place at 28 degrees. So if you have any planets or placements around 28 degrees of Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, or Pisces, you're the main characters. Now, this new moon is a huge deal because it is the first new moon in Pisces in years that isn't also an eclipse and also isn't co-present with Saturn in Pisces. So since March of 2023, anytime we have a full moon in Pisces, a new moon in Pisces, it's been co-present with Saturn, which is this planet of restriction and limitation and responsibility and commitment. And it can really kind of bring the vibe down of whatever lunation is taking place. So now we have this new moon in Pisces. And for me, new moons in the sign of Pisces are all about dreaming, connecting with our spirituality, connecting with the intangible, remembering that we're interconnected, working with our creativity and our ideals and blending all of that together. So I've always loved when we have new moons in the sign of Pisces because it really feels like this seeding point, which it is. It's a new moon. It's time to set goals, to come up with new ideas, and to start fresh. So, this is a very welcome new moon, especially because we don't have Saturn telling us what isn't going to work or putting setbacks in our way or anything of the above. So, this is really beautiful energy for setting intentions and having a little extra luck on your side. As it is a new moon in Pisces, it is so important to remember that Pisces is the final zodiac sign. It is represented by the two fish swimming in different directions. It is mutable energy, which is all about transformation, release, endings, and a new cycle beginning. So, this is really a powerful time to turn inward and sure, you can set new goals for yourself, but also reflect on what no longer serves you, what no longer serves the collective. What habits do you keep on a daily basis? What dreams do you have that you want to reach? This is a divine period of surrendering, for reconnecting with your faith in divine timing and the universe's plan, and letting go of parts of yourself, situations, habits that no longer serve you or that have been keeping you stuck or stagnant, because it is these small interactions, which is very Virgo, opposite of Pisces, that are keeping us getting the same results, which is keeping us further from our dreams and our goals and our ideals. Pisces. So think about what you are ready to release, and also think about what you are ready to release on behalf of the collective. Has there been complacency? Have you been sitting in your own comfort or white privilege too much? Is there a way in which you can show up differently? To remember that we are all intertwined, we're all interconnected, and every life matters, everyone matters. So when you think about Pisces energy, it is really this deep sense of faith, a collective experience as the final zodiac sign that is reminding us that to be spiritual is to lead with compassion, kindness, and care for all of us, because we are all equal and we all hold a divine responsibility to one another. Now, at 9 p.m., the moon will enter Aries, and just before midnight, the moon in Aries will form a conjunction with Neptune in Aries. And this could be a moment where you're in a deep, deep slumber, or it could be a moment where you're really tired. Maybe you wake up and you're feeling a little restless. Sometimes this is also energy that kind of, if you're awake during this time, gives you worst case scenario. So it's easy to be untethered during this time. So focus on grounding exercises, returning to your body, and just be aware that projections, anxieties, and insecurities can come up. But engaging with spiritual practices that ground you or a creative outlet can also be very healing and recharging at this time as well.